Day 2 of the Washington Commanders training camp practice is officially in the books, and you guys know what that means. More news, notes, highlights, observations from another practice here with brand new quarterback Jayden Daniels, a new coaching regime. We have so much to talk about in this video. A lot of guys are starting to really stand out and are positioning themselves to break out in 2024. Now, before we jump into the news and notes and highlights, make sure you guys do me a favor, and I want to give a massive shout out to all of the Commanders media team who work so hard to get these highlights out for us each and every single day. And without them, again, this video is not possible to make, so go follow them on X. You're going to see their @ at the top left of your screen, and if you follow them, you're going to see all the news and notes and highlights before even I post the video. So make sure you guys go follow them if you haven't already done so. With that being said, let's kind of dive into the video and talk about day 2 of the Washington Commanders training camp practice. Now, in terms of punt return special team drills, there was a lot of guys getting work, and I think they're trying to really experiment with, who can do what really well when it comes to special teams. So some of the guys who were, included there were Jamison Crowder, which is obviously not surprising at all. He's been a very good special teamer for probably the majority of his career. You also have Damiere Byrd, you have Kazmir Allen, you have Jahan Dotson, and Dax Millenny. I think that's how you say his name. If I got it wrong, comment down below how you say it right. But with that being said, also Emmanuel Forbes was back there as well. So let me know in the comments down below really quickly, who do you think would be the best punt returner for this team going into next season? In my opinion, I think you got to stay with the hot hand and the guy who's done it for a long time in Jamison Crowder. I just think he's got that experience, so I would probably roll with him. But let me know in the comments down below, who would you roll with? Now, another big time observation and takeaway from today's practice was clearly Austin Ekeler. I mean, you could tell this dude is a different breed of running back. I mean, the vision, the awareness, getting in and out of tacklers, and this is a guy who's going to play a lot next year, right? We thought that, maybe he was on a little bit of a decline after last season with the Chargers, but no, he is still shifty. He is still very, quick in and out of his cuts. This is a guy who's going to be massive for them. The O-line has gotten a lot of recognition lately from the coaches and the media, right? Today, they had a good day outside of maybe a false start from Nick Allegretti, but outside of that, they did such a good job. Tyler B really sealing off the interior of the defensive line, allowing Brian Robinson to get into the middle for a decent gain. We saw Austin Ekeler really utilize his offensive linemen to, get big chunk plays here and there. But what's been really fun to see is the versatility of both those guys, Brian Robinson and Austin Ekeler, man. Both guys can catch the football. Both guys can run in between the tackles, get to the outside. They can do a lot of different things, which is starting to add that unpredictability for the running backs, which is something you need, right? For other teams, you have times like, for example, last year with Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon of the Packers. When A.J. Dillon was in the game, they're probably going to run the ball, right? When Aaron Jones is in the game, they're probably going to pass the ball. But now you have two guys here in Washington that can kind of do both. And I think that unpredictability is very important. Now, guys, before we get into some big news, talking about 11-on-11 drills, 7-on-7 drills, do me a favor, hit the like button, but more importantly, subscribe to the channel if you're new. It is free. It doesn't cost a thing to subscribe. And we're going to be covering the Commanders throughout the rest of training camp, preseason, and regular season, breaking down film of practice, of games, everything you guys need to know. We got you guys covered. And lastly, make sure you guys follow my Twitch. I'm going to be live streaming some Commanders games on my Twitch this year, so if you're going to watch those with me, make sure you guys go follow my Twitch, Matty Dubs with 3 S's, or you can find the link in the description below. With that being said, let's kind of dive back into the video and talk a little bit more about today's practice. Now, another big note was Marcus Mariota was first up in 11-on-11 team drills, as he was yesterday as well. So, obviously, they are really taking it slow with Jayden Daniels, making sure that he knows, listen, yeah, you're the number 2 pick of the draft, but you're not just going to be handed the job. You got to earn it. You got to work for it, and you got to make sure that you outcompete Marcus Mariota, who is a veteran, who's been here, he's done that for a while, has had some good years, had some bad years, but at the end of the day has the experience as a veteran to come in here and make some plays. So Marcus Mariota was the first guy up in team drills. And again, I don't think that you need to read too much into that. You don't got to sit here and say, oh man, it looks like Jayden Daniels is not playing good because he's QB2. No, actually, that's kind of the opposite. I think they're really just trying to ease him into it. Jayden Daniels has looked really, really good, and we're going to talk specifically how in about a minute from now, but don't take too much out of who gets the starts when they get the starts. I mean, for real, pads aren't even on yet. Another guy who's done really good so far during practice, Brandon Coleman. A rookie offensive lineman here. He's a guy who is really trying to earn a starting spot on this team over the past couple of days, has been Cornelius Lucas, but Brandon Coleman, do not be surprised at all if over the next few weeks, man, he starts to really get some buzz around his name and potentially even getting some starting looks going forward. Now, Jayden Daniels, worked with the second team in 11-on-11s, and he really looked good. Getting the football out quick, being really decisive with the football. Sometimes you see quarterbacks really struggle to go through their progressions. But to me, Jayden Daniels, is really smart, right? Goes through his progressions insanely quick, throws the ball, gets it out quickly. And then Marcus Mariota was just holding on to it a little bit too much for your liking. By the time he really was about to throw the ball, he probably would have been sacked. But that was kind of the opposite for Jayden Daniels. Going through his progressions, another thing he did really well was pick up the blitzes, right? Slide their protection to a certain side of the field, knowing where the blitzes are going to come from, and honestly being right most of the time. Like if he thought there was going to be a corner blitz, he would make sure that his running back knew to pick it up, right? So, I mean, I thought that was another big time, takeaway from practice. Jayden Daniels just really, really smart. And then we got the 7-on-7s. Mariota got the first 2 reps. He had a scramble, and then he had a bullet to Bates near the goal line. Really nice pass there. So that was good to see. What else? We had, Jayden Daniels was really good. Now, his time during 11-on-11s, he took threw a pass to Brian Robinson, who took it to the house, right? Beautiful route, beautiful catch. Jayden Daniels, amazing. He also threw another diamond 7-on-7s to Mitchell Tinsley in the corner of the end zone. This was one that, shocked a lot of people. It was a beautiful throw in the back of the end zone. Touchdown. I mean, those are the things that you want to see. Also, another guy, I forgot to mention this earlier, but Mike Sainristil. I mean, the coaching staff is pumped about Mike Sainristil. They think this is a guy that's going to be huge for them. Worked a little bit with the Gunners today. Worked a little bit with punt return as well. But man, he's been surprising a ton over the last couple of days here, and I think that's only going to progress as time goes forward. Overall, though, I think Daniels was 4-4 in the 7-on-7 series. Completed one to Davis, McCaffrey, Tinsley, Austin Eckler as well. All had some receptions during today's portion of practice. Things are going to ramp up sooner rather than later, and I am super excited for that. We've already seen Dan Campbell already get into the lab and start to work with guys like Jamin Davis, trying to add versatility. The one thing he's looking for in this linebacker room is guys who can do multiple different things, right? Come off the edge, drop back into a zone, cover a tight end or a running back out the backfield, and stop the run. Whoever can do those things, more versatile, or whoever brings more versatility is probably going to get a lot of playing time for this team. So we'll see how that continues to develop, guys. But that's it for today's video. Tomorrow we should have some more updates, and then once the pads come on, man, we are full steam ahead. So hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, join the family.